Okay, off to another 100 pennies. Maybe we get lucky on this one. Last hunt, we just had one coin that was a little odd looking. Like a, I don't know, looked like a clad deterioration issue or cracked planchet. Who knows? But no wheat pennies. Nothing, any severe cracks or doubling. Now, maybe this time luck will change a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that's the way these bankroll hunts are. You can go back to back with get skunked or hit like 4 or 5 good coins, per 50 per roll. Yeah, quick glance. Take a peek. Nothing's popping out. Yeah. That's why we're going to hunt. Alright. On that note, we'll shrink this down. See? I didn't mean to do that. I'll put it right down here. And put a coin in place. Sure it looks nice and lined up on the microscope, which is right there. And here looks good. Okay, we'll start off with a 1987 Philly. It's not terrible shape, but really not worth anything. Has a little rim crack. Some folks collect them. I don't know. There's just a lot of them out there. Yeah, if you collect them, let me know. I send them back to the bank. There's just too many. Moving on. They end up with all these tubes of coins and they never do anything with them. Oh. 93. We're looking for the ones that got away. Huh? 93. Hey, varieties and oddities, and I guess it's the same thing. Varieties and die cracks and doublings and just overall mint errors. 22. You want to look for, in the field of the 22, you want to look for any kind of die clash. Usually it'll show a difference in the surface of the field. So just keep an eye out for those 22s. Right? That one doesn't have it. I've been getting been noticed on eBay. 99, 90, 23, no extra B. 18, nothing there. 90, a pigeon? I don't know. Mouse? 86. I always wash my hands after this. I don't trust it. 07. Oh, crazy hatch pattern to that. It's different. I don't think it's anything. It looks like a got an odd sheen to it. Let it go. 18. One. $73. A little off center. Nothing crazy. To the copper file. 98. Looking for that wide AM. Not today. 87. I just cursed myself. I have got 98 wide AMs. You know, not many. And they sell for about 20 bucks. You know, better shape, maybe more. The one I got wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. I got two of them, but the one I sold was not bad. $73. Copper. 22. Now look at this. That PMD or what? Probably is. Yeah. You just never know. It's done from a ejection, you know, I don't know. You can't say for sure. Well, send it back to the bank. Somebody's screaming at me. Oh no! 92 wide AM. Oh, look at that C, huh? A wide C. 07. $20. Push this together. 82 small date. If you're looking for 82 small date, the 2 looks more like a gooseneck, and the 8 has a very small circle on the top, as well as the lettering is thinner on top. Well, everything's thinner. So yeah, you get confused between the 82 large and small dates. That's how you tell. Let's put this on the scale. And it is zinc. 22. Any clash? Not there. 83D, Denver. Very thick. Yeah, it got a little weight to it. Probably not. 2.5 grams. It's zinc. 93. Yeah, if that 83 was copper, I think it would be a mic drop moment. 86. Or an 86 if that was copper. And who's to say 3 years later they didn't make, you know, a blank coin was stuck in a machine and fell down 3 years later. Who knows? or they were cleaning up, said, "Oh, found it behind the wheel or something," and they threw it in the pile. You never know. All that stuff happens. Here's an 82, large date. Let me check the weight on it. That's copper. 3 grams. Uh, 86, nothing. Looking at it too hard. 87. Oh, we got 2 here. 87. Three. Oh, 03. Let's just check that. 03. 87. Andrew. Nothing. $98. Nope, it's a close AM. It's a machine doubling, but nothing severe. $5. 6. 18. 71. I got a little doubling on the 8 there. On the 84. Yeah, that's a double. It looks neat. It's got it through the 4. The triangle in the center of the 4. Got some rippling in the cladding too. This coin's actually a nice coin. Yeah, get a few bucks for that. It's like a shift double. It's not a rotated double. It's a slight rotation and more of a shift in the cladding. And I would suspect all that bunching behind Lincoln's head and Liberty caused that jump, like this. But nonetheless, you can call it a machine doubling. Whatever. It didn't go through the 9 and the 1 or the Liberty. Well, the Liberty has a little shadowing on the left, but it's definitely one to put aside. And we're gonna do that. That's one. Yeah. $5 coin, maybe. We'll see. Put that one aside. I paid for the 2 rolls. $1 into $5, maybe more. Well, the way coin sales are lately, nothing really taken off. So I'll put it up for 10 and say make me an offer. I mean, it is worth $10 to me. It's worth $5. I mean, if someone offers me $5, but it's not a very common coin. It's not crazy rare either, but I'm just saying it's better than just every coin you see. And it's interesting with that double rippling. Looks like the whole clad layer was shifted. which is interesting. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing here. 91, 75D. Oh, that's why I put it aside. We'll go with that one again. 83. I don't I see zinc pennies that have those type of cladding issues. I don't get overexcited about it, just because there's a lot. See a lot of that rim damage and machine doubling, but that was a clear-cut jump. I like that. So, I'm gonna see if anyone else has found one on eBay. I don't know. We'll see. 5. $95. 73. Copper. 78. You gotta start looking too hard for little errors. It ain't worth it. 16. Hard thing is, if it doesn't pop right at you right away, you know, it's not really worth it. I mean, you know, $1, you know, if like, you know, a variety or a crack. It's like there's 23 extra V's. You gotta look at the coin and say, ah, look at that V. You know, it's not. You gotta, is that? You know, hunt it down. I'm not gonna do that. And you got the naysayers and someone say, oh, you sold me a bum coin. Whatever. Avoid that. 95. 79. Copper. 2015. Zinc. 73. Copper. 98. It's a close AM. That would have been neat if it was a wide AM with that toning. But it's not. Back to the bank. 97. Okay. 99. Okay. 76. Copper hit the floor. 84. 95. What are you? Hey. 14 parking lot coin. Parking lot and machine scratched. Seen its better day. 87. Let's see. 75. Copper. 22. Nope. 89. Nope. How close I am. Need a wide. Here's a nice 69. That's a nice mint toning. It's really not a floater. Look at that roof. You know, it's a nice looking coin, but nothing special. Bottle cap edging on the top. Well, goes into the copper file. 86. 85. 89. 2000. Put the close AM. 2011. Nope. 2020. Nope. 05. Nope. 08. Nope. 2020. You got a little spike head here. Let's see how bad she is. Right through the W. Almost down to his ear. Actually a nicer looking spike head. It's because of the coin itself is toned down and the spike kind of stands out nicely. We'll just check the back. The reverse. See nothing there on the shield. So with a single spike head and no other issue, I mean, you know, you could sit on this coin for months on eBay looking to sell it for $1, which is kind of crazy. So what I do, I throw this coin in with my coppers and say, you know what? Someone gets it in their bag of copper pennies, and it, oh, that's not a copper, because they're gonna look through them. And I say, it's hunter's delight. You know, look through them. If they see this, it's worth more than a penny. So I put it in there. No. 2020 spike head to the next bidder. Next person who finds it, it's yours. I'm gonna sit there. I got a couple of them. You know, they sell, they don't sell. And it's like, you know what? I'll sweeten my bulk coins. I've thrown die chips and, you know, with uncirculated dimes with die chips, and I still can't sell the bags. And those coins are worth $5 each, and I'm selling the whole bag for $5. So you know, I just don't get it. You know, I'm trying to, you know, do the right thing. It's for collectors, for people, probably mostly kids. You know, they find a coin like that and they put it aside, and you know, if they want to sell it, you sell it for $5. You know, I got a whole bunch of them, so I just wanted to kind of spread the wealth. And sit there and sell them. Maybe I shouldn't put them in the bags. Just keep them all copper. Say, that's it. I've thrown uncirculated quarters in there with errors. Bessie Coleman quarters. Still, I mean, I sold enough of those bags, but you think they'd be flying out here? They're not. And I really don't get it. I see a lot of people do sell them by bulk and getting the prices, and even more than what I charge, even way more than I charge. Selling hundreds of them, hundreds. And here I am, I sell a couple, and I'm spiking them with good stuff. Just don't get it. I just don't. I really don't. Other than the one guy gave me a negative feedback because he's like, yeah, better be 2 rolls of dimes. That was those the ones with the errors in them, with the die chips in them. I gotta get focused on my coins here. 76. These things are bank wrapped, and I've been getting these die chip errors constantly. I said, you know what? These rolls definitely have these chips in them, and I put it 2 rolls for $10 on auction. $10 face value. I said, well, at least I got my $10 back, less the eBay fees. But, and I'm losing money at this point. I was like, pass it on. Well, the guy won. It was an auction, which I'll never do that again. Unless it's something really good. He won the auction. And he starts threatening me. You better have 2 rolls in here. It says 1. I got it ready, shipped and ready to go. 1 package with 2 rolls in it. You better have 2 in there. And I knew what he's talking about, because it's $10 face value of dimes. And it wasn't a mistake. I'm very charitable. And they're uncirculated with die chip errors. So definitely worth $10. I mean, you can get $10 at the Coinstar machine. Well, less than 9-10%. But yeah, he couldn't believe he won it for $10, and I'm a man of my word. I gave it to him. He started bitching. There better be 2. I said, you know what? I've had buyers like you before. And they start complaining about every little thing. I'm out a couple $100 because somebody said the remote didn't have any batteries in it in a VCR I sold, or DVD player. Well, it didn't work. Something stupid, and I was willing to take off money. And he shut down the wholesale, demanded his money back, and I never got the item back. And I said, you know what? I could sense these people. Once they start with the demanding this, that, and the other thing, and messaging you in all caps, I don't care if I'm breaking eBay rules. I shut down the thing. I said, you know what? Here's your money back. I don't want to do business with you. Well, I got the negative feedback. You go to my thing and look at it, and the guy, he ripped me apart. Oh, I won the auction. I go, yeah, but you're threatening me that I better give it to you. And I had every intention of it. Red flags were flying that day. I said, I don't want to deal with someone like, if you right out of the gate, you start causing problems, accusing me of not shipping the 2 items, I'm done. I'm not gonna do business with you. I told eBay that too. I said, look, red flags are flying. I'm not doing business with this guy. I'll relist the items. I didn't. I still have them. I'm gonna relist them for $10. Well, I'll relist them for $50 instead of an auction. Or for my own integrity, I'll put them back as an auction starting at $10 to prove that I was willing to let them go, which I really will do that. And anyway, So watch out, eBay. There's some real shysters out there, and if they try to take advantage of you, just end the sale. Even if they pay, just say goodbye. I'm not dealing with people like that. And at least for me, I'm not doing it. And I'll give the feedback why. And I did. I said he was clearly confused. He thought there was one package, one roll, when it's two rolls. The listing said two rolls. Everything was straight up and up, and like, well, this guy got a good deal. Two rolls of uncirculated dimes for $10. You know what? They're his. And he started bitching and moaning, and I said, you know what? I'd rather just not, I'd rather just not sell them. Let them have them. It's like strong arming. Like, you know what? You want them. Be gracious. They're on the way. But no. Because he probably couldn't believe he won them. I was like, I wish I got more. But the thing is, he's like, this has got to be a scam. How can you give me $10 face value of dimes for $10? They're uncirculated with errors. Well, that's how eBay goes. Other people should have got involved. But the eBay sales are down. The motivation is low. I don't know. But I was willing to let him go until he started playing games. I said, you don't deserve him. I'll make that call because, I still got him in my hand. I'm just not going to give him to you. Here's your money back. I gave him his money back. It reminds me, I got to go relist them. 21. I hate when I get off a tangent like that. But it happens. Because I start talking about eBay, I get all worked up. Well, let me see, I got him right here. I'm going to put him up right now. Because I want to get rid of him. I might go through them right now. I might do a dime hunt. There you go. '23 Philly uncirculated. Beautiful dimes. And they are uncirculated from the bank. And a lot of them have die chip errors in the torch, in the olive tree, and the other tree. What is that? What kind of tree that is? But yeah, they're loaded with them. In each roll, probably 10. And it's a nice die chip. It's like a encapsulated cud. Let me see them on the end caps. Yeah, I should do that. But these are sealed. I have the dimes set aside from other rolls I had, but I was like, you know what? I'm getting too many of these stupid things. So, actually, I'm on a hunt, might as well show what I got. Just to show what I'm talking about. And these rolls definitely have them. Look, I got a whole pill bottle full of them. Let me pull out a couple. Let me get it on the scope, on a microscope. I'll show you. Let me go over here. This is extended coin hunt. Yeah, beautiful, uncirculated. Right? You see the top of the torch to the bottom left of the flame. Nice die chip. Right? One there. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll go through a couple of them. Same thing. Right on the torch. I got a whole thing of these. So I had 10 rolls. You know, after a while, I was like, you know, this is getting crazy. Let someone else find them. Like, same thing, same die chip under that torch. And here, we got one, this one, the die chips are right between the branches on the olive, on the left. Yeah, it's like a cud. Like a encapsulated cud. On that one. And that was a mild one. Some are actually pretty big. Yeah, there's another one. Right on the olive branch. And on the oak, there's also one. You know, it's an error. It's a mint error. It's a chip. And these rolls are loaded with them. And I would think that there would even be different types of chips. See, you got one on the torch. That's a common area. Top left of the torch. I'd say the fronts really don't have anything. I did see some things like the issues that like a little doubling. Whenever you get die chips, you ought to look for doubling and stuff. Look, same thing on the torch. I know there's other ones in here that are better. Same spot. It's definitely worth more than 10 cents. Look at these. In the trees. Between the branches. You start finding so many, it's like, what do you do? And it was a run. This is from, you know, uncirculated minting, or whatever, from the mint. And they all came with that. You know, so it was something that they pumped out quite a few of them. But, I mean, I don't really see them in the wild. Here's two over the branches. And again, these are uncirculated. Another one. And it also, you get some on the bottom of the torch too. The top left of the torch. Maybe I'll start listing them again. I don't know. I did. I sold like 10 of them for like 10 for $10. I got $1 a piece from as a set. You know, like here's 10 with these die chips, and it sold reasonably quick. I got 2 rolls sitting here, which guaranteed to have them in there. I gave up looking. This one's got a different error. At the bottom of the torch, under that band, there's a chip, or let's say encapsulated cud happening. I know it's a die chip. Yeah, educate me on that, but it's material pushing out from a break in the cladding, in the die. Same thing. On the torch, I think that D has a doubling on it, in dime. There are, aesthetic issues with these coins. I'm almost tempted to open it and say, you know what, bag it. Look at it, nice on the bottom of the torch. Yeah, I might do that. Another one, bottom of the torch. Up in the branches again. This one's got there's multiple spots. It's got up in the branches on the olive and the oak, and then on the torch on that upper band on the left. That's not normal. I was like, what's going on? Why are there so many? It's on the bottom of the torch. And it's funny, I've looked at a lot of 23 dimes, 2023, have never seen that again. So I'm looking for them. Yeah, under that torch. I just never seen any more. I'm sure they're out there. Not like in the wild you'd see them. They're from different areas of the country. Under the torch. And these are all Philadelphia. He's got a little dye chip in his hair. You know that? There's actually two. It looks like another dye chip to the back of his hair area. Definitely a chip up by his temple, and one right dead center in his hair. That's a chip right there. I can't give these things away. I think these are COVID coins. They were really rushed through. Very little quality control. So I think that's what everybody's writing it off. Because I got a bunch of Bessie Colemans, 23s, I think they're 23. A real mess. Like they never clean their dies. They're just littered with chips and cracks. I had one with a double designer initials, really clear, nice big double in it, and I think I got $10 for it. It was a really distinctive era, a doubling. But these dimes, they're worth more than a dime. I'd say they're worth at least $1 a piece. And here, 50 right here. I bet if you check these end caps, you'll probably find it. Anyway, enough of that. I'm almost tempted to go through these. If I didn't go through so many, and I literally got tired of looking at these things. So they're here, and I'd be willing to let these go. I gave the guy his money back. He could have had them if he wasn't a jerk, wasn't an idiot. But I should just relist. I couldn't relist it because it was retracted or something. I forget what happened, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to put them up for auction, $10. So if you visit my eBay, you're going to see, and I'm going to go there now because I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go relist these 2 rolls of dimes, uncirculated, on eBay. Alright? Anyway, back to my video. I hope you had a good time watching. It was fun. I will be doing more. Yeah. You take a shot at these dimes. Make me an offer. It'll be up on eBay today. You take care and have a good day.